welcome back to the next part of our factory building series. Just to let you know, this is what the default template loads up. I probably never mentioned this, and some people probably already know about it, but just in case you don't, I never set the default template ever on this project. I just keep switching it. So to do that, we just want to go to Edit, Project Settings, and we want to go to Maps and Modes, and we want to set that to our new map that we created, which is called prototyping, isn't it? Whatever you called yours, just select that in both them there and close, and that will be the default map from now on. I'm just gonna, rather than close it and show you, but that's what will happen. So let me just open our prototyping lab, and we're back here. And if you remember right, we were creating cables and they were connecting, and basically we've gone on quite a lot about the power at the moment. Now there's probably a lot more we can do, but this is just the basics to get it going. So in this episode I just want to finish off touching on a few things, tidying a few things up, but then we'll go on and move on to something else. Not sure quite sure what that's going to be yet, but we'll move on to something else. So we have now got our cables being able to connect to each end, and we're just, we should, if you've been following along and you've had no problems, hit number 1 on the keyboard, there we go, and this should connect. Oh, I keep hitting the right mouse button. I don't know why I do that. So it's a habit. There we go. Don't hit the right mouse button, and there we go. But at the moment, the problem we did have last, just as we finish, if you remember, we had the fact that we can connect this to there. If we can get a shot on it, it will let us connect, but I can't actually see it now. So I can't accidentally connect it unless I did fix that in the background. Could double check. I might have done that in the background without realizing it. So that will be in the cabling tool, I'm guessing. Or did we do that in the cable? Let me just check inside the cable. Bear with me a second. Yes. All I did was I set the connected tag here. Okay. Like I did there, I did the same here. That might not have been on the last video. So when we come out and we do all this distance check straight afterwards, we do the set connected on the B connector. So now you can't attach to it. So just in case that's not apparent. So what do we want to tidy up? We just want to tidy up the fact of communication of the power, don't we? Like we had before. Now I've had to leave this for a bit. I was doing this in the week, the recording, and it's been several days of editing. So now my brain's in a fizzle. I've got to remember where I was at. So I'm just going to pause the video just for a second, and I'm going to have a look through and see whereabouts we were setting the power to the light, basically. So 1 second. Okay, right, so I've had a look, and I think it's this check power section, check for power function inside the electrical cable. So let's come in here. I don't know if I need this sequence at the moment, but let's just look at the order of events. It's checking the end A connector and see if it's an output. Now we don't need to do that because we've decided now that the end A should always be an output. So let's get rid of that. Okay, don't need that. So we're checking for power. Do we have an end A connector? Yes, we do. So all we want to do there is set for power, and this was actually also updating the required power, but that's not done here. So let's just delete that, clean that up. So if it's valid, we'll set power. Okay. Really didn't need that there. We could just tidy this up a little bit and just get powered there, hook that in there, and just get rid of that. We don't need two lots, do we? Bring that across and that up. Okay, so if it's invalid, we're not going to return anything because we've got nothing in there. So what we're doing is we're setting whether it's powered based on whether this connector is powered. Yep, which is the connector that's set to powered on or off when the generator is on or off. But then we want to follow on from that, and again, we then want to check at the other end, make sure it's validly connected, otherwise we can't do anything. Let's get rid of this because we don't need to check what direction it's going in. And let's bring this over and let's have a look, see what we're doing here. So all we're going to do now is set whether it's powered based on whether the end connector is powered. So we don't need this additional set. We'll bring this is valid into there. So we only want to do something if this B connector is valid. We don't need another copy of the B connector there. And we just want to check if it's powered. Yeah. Let's ALT click, get rid of that. And we're also going to set the power usage based on where we're getting this information from. Oh yeah, we're just setting this on the cable. So the cable itself now has a power usage, yeah, set from there. And the power usage required cable. Now we need to get that from the where do we need to get that from? We need to get that from the object that it's currently connected. So we've got connected B, and we need connected B's power usage, don't we? And then we set that to the required power of the connector base object. Yeah. Where are we getting power usage from? We're not setting that at the moment, or are we? We could just set that here, so we may not need this variable, because what we could do is just go get required power from there and just set directly on the connector. So this we probably might not need, so we could delete that at some point, but I'm going to leave it there for now. I'm hoping now, so we don't need this because we're going to do it all in one go. We need to check both connectors, don't we? Although if it's not, yeah, if it's not valid, it falls off. So as long as they're all valid, it's going to check them, yeah, and it's going to set the variables. Now whether that's just fixed it, I don't know, but we shall find out. So we also need to set, oh sorry, yeah, we need to connect that, sorry, because that's the connector, the end connector that we're going to say is switched on, and that's where we're going to get our information from. So we need to make sure it's connected to set the required power. But it's not from the B connector, is it? That's just going in a loop. We're setting the required power to itself. So let's just delete this node. We need to tell the generator or the cable, don't we? We want to, this is where we've set this. We do need this power usage, okay, and we're going to just set that here. That's better, to there. So now the cable knows it's powered, okay, and now back in the generator, can this check if it's powered? Yes. And does it check to see the power? Yeah, power required. So in here we cycle through them and we do a power check, and we check the required power and we add them together, and yeah, we keep getting the values. So in theory in theory, I like the word theory. It covers an almighty amount of things, doesn't it? Let's switch on our tool and click on there, and then let's click on there. Okay, so that is now connected. Shift F1, let's see what we've got. So the cable, that's the one that's about to disappear. That will disappear in a second. The cable 0 is the one that's here. It recreated a new cable, but then we killed it, but that will disappear with garbage collection shortly. So the cable, oh, is not powered. Because the generator's not on. Aha. So let's see if we fix this. Where's the generator base? There's the generator base. Oh no, I activated it by default, didn't I? Sorry, I switched it on here in the editor, so it was always on. So why is it not detecting? So let's have a look in the electrical cable, and we want to check for power. So let's go here, and we will toggle a breakpoint or F9. Okay, so we're here. We have a connector, and it's powered. Okay, so now we're setting powered to true. Let's just double check that in here. What's powered to true on the cable? Oh, I can't select it now. Let me take that breakpoint out. We'll just double check this. We'll put that back on in a minute. Let's click play. Let's just check this electrical cable 0. That's taken a bit of a while to garbage collect that one. Is not powered, but oh, there is no status for connected, is there, on the cable as such? But the electrical connector, okay, confusing myself yet again. So let's go back into the cable. This is going to probably be a little bit of debugging before we get to where we want to be, and hopefully we'll be finished with this basic set of objects for this episode. Well, for this part of the tutorial, we will touch back on it. We're going to be touching on a lot of things and modifying a lot of things, but I don't want to dwell too much just on this. I thought power would be a good place to start because it's important. Everything virtually has got to be powered. So what we're going to do is we're going to re-press F9 back in the electrical cable in check for power, and we're going to stop at this validated get so we can see the cycle of what's happening. So we have end A connector, which is our generator, yeah, and it's coming from our generator. We know it is, and we know this connector is powered, yeah. So we have that. So what we do, we're passing this to our powered here. So let's cycle through, use these to step through these arrows. So next one, next one. So now our powered should be, I don't think it's going to show in there. I think it might show when you're in the other screen. So anyway, so then what we're going to do is we're going to get our B connector. Okay. At the moment, the B connector is not powered, which is the field light, yeah? And it's not powered. So we'll get that it's valid. It is. And we're now going to set powered on B connector. Okay, so it's not currently powered. Let's step one more to get that to access it. And B connector, oh, is not powered. So we're checking itself. See, this is where debugging is really useful, and you've got to, it's so easy to get muddled up, like, because these connectors are very similar. It's so easy to get muddled up. What I'm doing, I'm setting itself to itself. Which is no good. What we do need to do is get the A connector, get powered, and plug that into there. And pop that there, and we'll just tidy this up a little bit. Just double click on the node branch and compile. So now let's remove this and let's just see if we can see in game. The only problem is at the moment, because of the way we've set this up properly now, we have to keep creating this with cable, but it don't take a sec. There we go, it's connected. Get rid of that one. That one went straight away. If you notice, it's got no electrical cable 0 up here. The one disappeared straight away. Okay, so we're now connected. So the cable is powered, but it doesn't have a power usage. But the field-based light doesn't have power. So the power usage isn't getting through. So again, we're going to go back into the electrical cable. This is what checks for power here. So let's get to this point here. We know this bit works, and okay, I'm going to stop myself right there. I now spend approximately an hour to an hour and a half trying to debug this issue. I do explain it when I come back, but just so you know, there seems to be a clash with variable names. I believe that's the issue. Variable names between different objects, and what I mean by that is I have the same variable name within one object as I do in another, so in one blueprint to another, and for some reason they seem to clash even though I'm explicitly choosing one or the other. But But yeah, that seems to be what the issue is. So rather than you sit through the entire time that I try and debug this issue, I will come back after a quick fast forward through it and explain to you what I changed and how I fixed it. So without further ado, let's carry on. Okay, as you can see, I've got this working. I have just spent an hour and a half actually recording this, and I'm going to spare you. I do need to fix that. We'll have a look at that in a second. I'm going to spare you that hour and a half of pain. For some reason, there seems to be a clash of variable names, and I don't know why. Whether there's a problem with memory, I don't know. So what I'm going to show you, hopefully I'll go through everything of what I've done. So the generator base I haven't touched. As far as I can tell, that seems fine. The cable, what I've done is I took away the option to send the power through to there. So I don't want the cable doing any work, so eventually that's not going to exist either. The cable won't be checking for power. The cable I want is an idle object that just receives a value when it's powered. So this will change, but for now let's just humor this. I've gotten rid of the set here for the powered to set the connector. So if you just change yours on the check for power and just remove the set that was here and just link these power usage ones up, yeah, okay, and I'll save that. In the field light base, what I've done is I had to remove this is powered. Get rid of that. Don't even actually need the variable anymore. And what I've had to do is get the power. I've had to change the collector. Let's do the connector first. I found that this powered is broken. I can't set it. If I do, it doesn't do anything. It doesn't go anywhere. So I created a new variable called has power. Yeah, and instead, here in the check for power, I'm checking whether we're connected, which is correct, fine. Checking that the connected cable is valid, which it is, and we're setting the has power, the new variable, to the variable inside the connected cable to say whether it's powered. Yeah, so if the cable's powered, the light is now, well, this connector is powered. Yeah, so if the cable is powered that's connected to us, this connector is powered. Okay, so has power is what I called it. So it's a completely different naming convention. We then also send the power usage as normal. What I've also done is added a false on here, so if it's not connected, it's going to turn it off anyway. It says it's got no power. That's just a double check to make sure that if nothing's connected, there will be no power anyway. So we'll save that. So back in the base, we're now using that new variable instead of the old one. So the old one was powered, or get powered, yeah, but now I'm using get has powered, right? And that simple change there, and deleting the powered part inside here and set it directly from the base, that if there's power, do you get to see what I mean? So instead of having this variable powered here, instead of setting that in check for power, I've just completely took that out. Yeah, the is powered doesn't seem to work. Don't ask me why. So all that can go. Yeah, and is powered, delete, it's not used. And check for power, delete, not used. Okay, get rid of it here, not used. Don't ask me why. Oh, I think I realised why I can't set that variable there. Okay, let's undo that. Please do not delete it. So don't do what I just did. Check for power and Control Z on that one as well. All right, let's connect that back up. We're now using has power. So now we're from there, got a little bit muddled up there. So from there, I can use that now here. I don't need to use the electrical base. I can use, or I should be able to use, is powered to there, and is powered to there. Okay, and that will switch it on and off. There is a bit of a problem here. I'm not quite sure why, because we do have a connected cable, but right now let's just check, see if this works. You watch it fail again now. I've just done that little bit of messing about. So connecting there and connecting there, and see, it's failed again. So let's have a look. Shift F1. What is field light base is not powered, but this has power. And if we go to oh, maybe I didn't set it. Let me just double check in the field light base. Did I check for power in the event tick? No, I didn't. Let's just double check that. I am really getting all over the place at the moment. The amount of time I've spent on this is ridiculous. If any of it's unclear, well, let's just check this works. But if anything's unclear of what I just did, please put it in the comments, because I have been all over the place just, and I may have changed something that may or may not work on yours. So I can always post a screenshot or something so you can see what each stage looks like. So if I add a connector there and add a connector there, we have light. Ta-da! Let's get rid of the other cable. We have light. So it's now working. Oh, excuse my mind there. My wire just fell, so it was grating against the spring on the arm. So yeah, it is now working. Yay! So what we're going to do now is, while it's still running, Shift and F1, let's come to this output log, and oh, the field based light. Oh, is that because it's trying to switch on when it shouldn't be? Let's have a look. It's trying to access this when it's not on. Oh, because it should. Oh no, it's branching on or off. If it's off. Oh, right. Okay. We're not checking if the connector there is valid. So this can be done in check for power. Yeah. Yeah, we could do that from here. So let's go to switch light. Oh no, because the switch light doesn't need power if it's not switched on. So we're checking if it's switched on or off. But if it's off, we set that to 0. But we can't set the power usage to the cable because the connected cable may not exist. Okay. I'm just going to, for now, it is no longer required at the moment for checking the power. We will change all of that, I think. So let's just remove it for now. We don't need to check the required power. All we want right now is to come along here, hit 1, connect our connector, and there we go, and the light comes on. That's all we need to know. Then all we need to do then is, if I press Shift F1 and collect on the generator, if we turn it off, that works, and turn it on, that works. There was a hell of a lot of work that I turned it back off again. Yeah, I will default that to off. So when we run it now, just check all this works now. So connect, we have no power, get rid of the other cable, get to the generator, power it on, and we should have light. There we go. Finally got it fixed, but it's took me a long time to do, so I'm going to cut all that out, a hell of a lot of it out. I'm going to cut all of it out. I'm just going to tell you there's a problem at the beginning, and then I'm going to jump to the conclusion. So basically now we have working generator, working light. Now you can play around with that to your heart's content. I will be changing it later on and it will be on camera. So it's up to you whether you want to wait later on or whether you want to do it now. There's nothing else we need to do. I'm just going to shift F1 and just check the output log. And as you can see, we've got no errors as such there. So that's fine. Okay. Generator's running away. We're wasting fuel here, so I need to stop the video. So I'm going to cut this and stop this video, and then I'm going to, in the next episode, move on to another sector. And it's probably one where I'm going to have to build something and then show you what I've done. I'm not sure of the format of these videos. What do you prefer? I'd like to see in the comments if you prefer me going through on screen and showing me all the trials and tribulations, just cutting out anything nonsense, or whether you want me to create the object and then come back and show you what I've done. I don't know. What's better for you guys? Not everyone's probably going to want the same thing, but I will try and balance it out if I have to. But would you rather see me do every little last bit so you can see what things you might come across? Or would you rather just see the end result and me walk through how I did it? And answers in the comments if you'd like to know. Yeah. So last note, thank you very much for all the viewers that have come in. I've only been on for like 48 hours or so. And I've had a fair amount of viewers for my first 48 hours. And I've also got now 8 subscribers. So to me, it might not sound a lot to you guys, but to me, that is a massive amount and it's a great start. And I would like to thank each and every one of you that have subscribed, each and every one of you that have viewed, each and every one of you that have hit a like. Basically, just turning up and taking part. Of course, I'd like you to subscribe. Of course, I'd like you to hit that like button. And of course, I'd like you to come back. But that is completely your choice. I'm not going to say in every video, hit that subscribe, blah, blah, blah. I'm not going to be one of those YouTubers. Yes, I would like to be able to give up my day job. I have a boring day job. And carry on doing this, just this. But I can't do that without paying the bills. And to do that, I'd have to get some sort of just living monetary compensation, and to do that you've got to have a lot of subscribers on YouTube. You've got to have a lot of view hours, and it's going to be very difficult. I'm very new to this. I'm not new to Unreal, but I'm new to YouTube. So, you know, yeah, I've got a Patreon, and details of all that will start being put into the videos, but I'm not going to badger you for anything, because I do enjoy doing this as well. So I don't expect recompense. But if I can get to that point, I can do more of these if you're enjoying them, and I could do them full time. Would be fantastic. But that looks like it's going to be quite far away. But I've had a great start. I'm hoping it's just going to get better. But if not, I'm still going to trundle along. It just may not be as often, that's all, because I did have a lot of time this week to do some videos. It's not always going to be the case. Making a video, an editing video, a very long process. I recorded all this in one go, virtually, apart from this episode and one before. So I was able to have a lot of content there, but then I had to sit and edit it, and editing it itself can be quite a long, arduous process. So yeah, come back. If you're enjoying it, and if you're getting something from it, just at least come back. That's all I can ask. You know, if I can keep the viewer count up, and you're actually getting something out of it, and I'm getting something out of it, I enjoy doing it, then maybe we can get somewhere with it. So let's just say. But thank you, each and every one of you that's took your time to watch, maybe learn something, and maybe enjoy yourself. So on that note, I'm going to end this here, and we're going to come back with a new episode, starting in a new area. What that's going to be yet, I haven't decided. I've had a few thoughts, but we'll see. So, but thank you. And take care, and goodbye.